My name's Tom Neltner. I'm with Unleaded Kids, which is focused on reducing lead from all sources in the environment, whether it's housing, whether it's soil, whether it's the air, whether it's consumer products. Been working on lead for about a quarter century, and I have gotten the privilege of meeting three community-based organizations that are supported by Lead-Free New Jersey. And in talking together, we realized that lead poisoning prevention professionals, whether in housing world or health departments, need to work better with community organizations. And they can learn from each of the three of you. And at the state level, they can see how Lead-Free New Jersey makes this happen. So our four people are from Lead-Free New Jersey is Heather Sorge. She's with Lead-Free New Jersey, and then Shaniqua Lemon from it's Patterson Alliance in Patterson, New Jersey. We have Sherelle Snyder from East Trenton Collaborative and Giovanni Contasano from the Puerto Rico Action Community of Southern Jersey. Each program is different. There's no cookie cutter here, and I think this will be a really good example of how to move forward. For our group, the first question I wanted to ask is, what are the benefits of collaborating with community-based organizations like yours or Lead-Free New Jersey at the state level? How can you help health departments or housing agencies or contractors succeed in their goals regarding lead? Anybody want to go first?
I would like to.
Jarell.
So, you know what? I'm so happy to be working with everyone because all of us here want to do something about this, diabolical toxin that's ruining lives and making people suffer that don't have to. But I noticed something. And let me tell you a story. As I'm driving down one of the streets in my neighborhood, I see Trenton Waterworks utility company outside. I see some of the residents standing outside, and it seems like if they're having a argument, everybody's heated. And it's these two men. So I pull over and I'm like, what's going on? So they're like, Sherelle, these men want to come in my house talking about they want to change some lines, and I don't know what they're doing. So I'm like, no, it's a good thing. They want to check your material so they can come in and get rid of these old lead service lines or galvanized pipes. And he calmed down. He trusted me. These utility companies, they come in, they don't know the community, even though they want to help. They just can't impose themselves on anyone. So working with a community-based organization was the key to letting the utility companies have the
Access.
the ability. Thank you. I said ability, but access to getting and do what they needed to do to help get their job done. And forgive me because sometimes I ramble. And
I
so
think that
that answered the question.
That's a great example. I work with water utilities, and they often get rejected by half the houses they go to, and in apartments it's even lower.
Yeah, if
So
I can,
go,
yeah,
Shaniqua.
I wanted to piggyback on what Sherelle was saying about just that communication. So in cities like Patterson and other urban, they're mostly renters, right? So I'm a renter myself. I don't get notifications that the homeowner may get. So the utility company may have sent something out saying, "Hey, we're coming to your neighborhood," but that doesn't mean the person behind the door received that notice. So,
Right.
community-based organizations were able to tap into, right? Whether it's through churches, whether it's at community meetings, just to give a heads up. I like to say we need to plant seeds. People need to hear things like 10 times before they're like, oh, that's what Shaniqua was talking about. That's what the news person was talking about. That's that paper that came in the mail that I threw away in the garbage can, right? So that by time the knock does at least come on the door, they have already heard it and hopefully heard it through somebody who they trust, right? So I believe that's the benefit of community-based organizations. Like we're able to share information not just like on a commercial or a billboard, but word of mouth, right? Especially from a mouth that someone you trust. So,
Yes.
and even
Yes.
and when it and not only renters but a lot of undocumented people, a lot of people who don't have trust with government or just are just times are really like I don't want any, I don't want to be involved, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that, but just for them, like Cheryl said, no, it's a good thing that they're coming, like they're actually coming to do something good for you, right? So just that understanding of the community to know, okay, I can trust these people, they're not coming to harm me, they're not coming to whatever they think the consequences may be. I believe
Mhm.
that's, the benefits of community-based
Yeah.
organizations.
I mean, you guys get the doors open, right? Because you are the trusted members of the community. And that is what makes the difference. And I think for lead-free New Jersey, where that really has shown up and been a benefit both to utility companies, to state departments and the like, is that because we are inclusive and because EPA Region 2 and the Department of Health and Department of Community Affairs, they come to our meetings a lot of times and send a representative. They get the opportunity to have a direct connection to listening to these wonderful individuals that are here and other community members express concerns and things that are coming up and hear them in real time. But they have an opportunity to provide information directly to those community partners and to organizations that they want to get there. Because a lot of times, what we hear from those various water utilities and departments, state departments, is we don't know how to reach the ground. We do not know how to get the information where it needs to be, and we're missing the mark. So I think that's where having representatives from the community attend State Department meetings and
Mhm.
high level rate meetings. They are the most important people in that room to deliver the message on what they think that they or what they know they need from their community, but also then to take the message from those departments back to the community and say, we heard directly that this is happening, right? And it provides that ability that I think didn't always exist, and we're constantly working on it. We don't always get it right, and it's a work in progress. But it's something that I think we have definitely improved
That
since the time that we
way
first.
communication. It's you reaching the community, but also you providing feedback to the policymakers of the people trying to get the work done.
State
Giovanni?
departments. Oh wait, I'm sorry. I just wanted to say, as an example, there recently, and to all of their credit, we provide something for each of these organization as backbone staff. We work with each of them to provide a resource card, right? Where Patterson, Trenton, right, Vineland, they have put down on a card for their residents in different languages. How do you reach your utility company for water? How do I find out if I have a lead service line? How do I know if I have lead paint in my home? Where do I go to get my child's blood tested? And so they have this resource card that they came up with the idea for, and we've helped produce. And the Department of Community Affairs, the DCA, came back along with the Department of Health and Environmental Protection Agency and the DEP and said, we want to emulate that. And they actually made their own resource during Lead Poisoning Prevention Month on the different State Department programs using that resource card that the Hub Leads developed as a prototype, and put that together. And I thought that was really powerful because that's when you know that what they're doing, that there's people listening, that really can affect the change that needs to happen. So that goes to all of their credit, all of those here today.
Excellent. Thank you, Heather. Giovanni, any observations?
Yeah, I mean, just to piggyback on what Heather's saying, I mean, you know, I mentioned earlier, no one agency can do it all. And I think that one of the benefits, or some of the benefits of working with, in collaboration with community-based organizations, especially those grassroots organizations, it's kind of like an added, um, it's like an added opportunity for departments such as EPA, DEP, or DOH, and others to kind of effectively reach at-risk populations. When you think about, and we spoke a little earlier about the trust factor, and unfortunately, I will say that there's a lot of trust issues when it comes down to some governmental agencies, and so I think that one of the benefits certainly would be to effectively reach that at-risk populations. These grassroots community-based organizations, they leverage the local trust. In some cases, in most cases, will have the cultural competency and have those community connections, not just for community members, but also with other community-based organizations. So it kind of these grassroots or community-based organizations can assist in the education, the lead hazard issues, the resources, the lead testing, and of great importance, of course, the advocacy that comes through, an effective collaborative, as Lead-Free New Jersey has put together. So I think that more widespread awareness, better access to services, perhaps stronger community engagement in general, in these lead hazard reduction efforts.
Excellent. Any other thoughts?
Maybe chime in a little bit. I thought something else that was really important that has come out of this model and the way that we have been able to elevate the community voices and impact the communities was, even having Sherelle, when you were able to work with her to provide testimony or statement, right, with the lead service line, right, and starting to have, even at national level, the importance of community voice, right, really be heard. And I don't know if this is a good time to kind of insert that, but I think it is becoming the new way of thinking, which I think it always should have been. But I think that's something we're on to something here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yes, Heather. Tom, communication matters. And who's doing the communicating matters as well. And there's a voice that's not really being heard. It's the voice of the people that's being affected by these issues. And what we have to do is put those voices up front. At the East Trenton Collaborative, we've been doing listening sessions where the residents come in, the community comes in, our local representatives at the municipal government come in. We have our county government come in as well, our state agencies and federal agencies. We have EPA, DEP, Dan Bateson, who is Mercer County Executive, our Mayor Riga Sior, and we have the subject matter specialists. And then we have the community of voices letting others know the issues that they're being faced with and the things that are happening with their children. and how they've been affected by lead toxins. Mothers having to see their children having seizures at very young ages and not having the help or the resources to do anything about it, having to move from other locations where they live in apartments because it's a lead hazard and not knowing what the heck lead is. There is no help. So these voices and these listening sessions that we hold get the community to let other people know what they're being faced with, then to let or the subject matter specialist tell about the resources that they have to offer. And then we get our government officials and the people that have the power to make change listen to these stories and hopefully enact the changes that are needed to make things better for families. So, communication. We have EPA putting messaging out that the residents can't understand. You can't do this. It's too many words. You have to put, if you want people to really understand what's happening, um, put the communication, put the information out there where they can digest it and understand.
100%. I think a good point is like when it comes to the languages, not only translating it, but then to the comprehension, like putting it at reading levels or just simple verbiage. Because even as community residents in this work or working with lead free, sometimes I'm in meetings like, what? And then I'm able to go back to Cassie and to Heather and kind of really in Deandra and really kind of dissect what was said so that I know how to translate it to my community, right? Like, okay, and sure, this is what we need to do. So it concise, right? Because we're not scientists. We're not the ones in the fields, right? We're the ones just delivering that information. So that's definitely an important part that I believe community-based organizations can really simplify or help simplify the message and then take that message and get it out. You have this program, you have these millions of dollars to do this, and you need people to sign up for it. The community-based organizations are the ones that can help get that word out to the ones who would miss the normal message that was sent out originally.
Excellent.
One of the things that that I want to put out there is really think about these community-based organizations as an extension, perhaps, right,
Exactly.
of departments of health and housing agencies and things of that nature. Because we may not have perhaps the resources or as much resources as some of the governmental agencies, but we bring something to the table. And I say, let us do the hard work, right? Let us do the hard work, and let us secure the data, identify the need, secure the data, bring it back, mull over it, and see what we all together can come up with, including, again, these organizations such as EPA, DOH, and so on.
Excellent.